filled out a form and it shows like a clock or a spinning, animated GIF that says, checking qualification in your area. Oh, we have 4 work from home opportunities or something like that. Well, that's just that simple middle qualification page. And all that does is it gets the person thinking, oh, okay, did I qualify? Did I qualify? That's very important for getting someone really excited to see what's on the next page. And what's on the next page is that monetized thank you page. Now, the monetized thank you page, it's kind of like your normal thank you page. It says, thank you, you'll be receiving an email from us, blah, blah, blah. But what we're going to do here is we're going to put 5 to 6 relevant CPA offers on that thank you page. So we're not going to take just one shot at getting them to monetize right there. We're going to take several shots. Okay, 5 to 6, maybe even 3 to 4, but ideally you've got 5. The example I'm going to show you later is in a bit here. It has 4. The type of offers we want on there. Okay, let's talk about the type of offers. So low barrier stuff. You want things like email submits, other form submits. Remember, the person just submitted a form right here. Okay, the person just submitted a form. So they're probably likely to submit another form. You already know they submit forms. You don't know if they buy stuff, but you already know they submit forms. So then they're likely to submit another form right here. And that form might pay you $2, $1.50. What I'm going to show you here in a bit is all stuff that made me $1.50 each time, but combined it adds up to a lot of money when you're running good traffic. Trials, risk-free trial offers are other good things like credit reports, diet offers, BizOp offers, that sort of stuff. Things that cost the person under $5, but you get paid out $20 or so, right? $20, $30, $40, that sort of thing. Low barrier continuity. I'll get more into detail on this stuff in a second. So again, since they're already opting in, it's easier to get them to do an opt-in offer or a survey or a quiz offer and that sort of thing. Again, think micro commitments. Now, after that, you've already monetized them here. Our goal here is to break even or make a small profit on the front end. But even if we break even, great, because now we have that whole list. And now we have an email series of follow-ups and broadcasts. So this is where you can make a lot of money going forward, and you don't have to keep buying traffic on such a large scale once you get a big enough list to work with. So let's look at a practical example. This is one that I've done that's generated me a lot of money. So let's look at that right now. So this is actual landing pages. I'm going to show you actual thank you pages, all that sort of stuff. So please pay attention. So this was a grant offer, government grant landing page that I ran. Okay, and so here are my 4 pages that I was rotating. Okay, 4 pages. Incidentally, number 3 did the best. Okay, number 3 did the best right here. This one right here, bottom left. So all these types of landing pages, they're very, very simple to create. You can make one of these in a program like WYSIWYG Web Builder or Zara. It's XARA. Those are landing page creators. Or somebody can create these for you. I had a guy make them for $20 each. Very, very cheap. But really, they all kind of have the same fundamentals to them. So I'll discuss what those are now. First of all, you have what's I call the hero shot. Okay, the hero shot is just a photo or a video, usually on the left-hand side, that connects well with the audience. Okay, I like an amateur-looking photo because that's usually, these ones look a little too polished, and that could be why this one worked better. But even more so, an amateur-looking photo tends to work better. So that's a good tip if you're doing any dating offers and that sort of stuff. Usually a call to action arrow that says qualify today. I like to use the words qualify, that sort of thing, because it makes the person feel like they have to apply. And, that makes them to want it even more, right? Keep that in mind. Here's where we have our form, arrows all going there, call to action form. Everything from here downward is just kind of a consistent arrow right to that form. We want people to submit this. And this was the one that got the best opt-in rate, okay? More bullet points and benefits, all that sort of stuff. But this is essentially the landing page formula that tends to work for these offers. This one right here was a mobile version of it. This is I actually got the cheapest opt-ins, about 20-cent opt-ins in the grant market on networks like JumpTap in the mobile networks. And so this was one where I'd collect name and email on people's mobile phones, smartphones, that sort of stuff. And this was just a mobile formatted thing. It opened it would open full screen on somebody's iPhone, that sort of thing. And I got a lot of cheap opt-ins that way. All right, so the monetized thank you page. This is the other important part about it. Okay, the monetized thank you page, what it really does is, number one, it has to pre-frame and set expectations for the person. Okay, so on this one, person just opted into one of these or this one, and then it goes to here. It says, hello and thank you for applying to qualify for government grants. In the next 10 minutes, you'll receive an email from us regarding the next steps in the grant qualification process. So again, it's giving them expectations to check their email, that sort of thing. To get you started immediately, below we've provided some instant resources that you can use to increase your chance of qualifying today. Okay, and then again, big, bold, red lettering. To increase your chance of qualification is highly recommended, yada, yada, yada. Now, what are these links right here? Okay, click here and submit the show. It's telling them exactly what to do. Well, these links right here are all offers that are ranked in terms of highest EPC. And I can look at my network reports after running traffic for a few days, and I can see, okay, this offer, it has the highest EPC. This has second highest. This has third. So we're just going to put the one that's converting the best, the highest. And then the second highest, we're going to put it second place, and third, and so on. Okay? So the whole idea is to get them to check that email, right? Because in that intro email, in that welcome email, obviously there's going to be an offer, right, to our highest converting offer, and then starts to get them to check these. So the people that often submitted here, I was getting, on this highest offer, I was getting a 65-cent EPC, okay? Now, that's very high for an offer that pays out at $1.10. Okay, that's a very high EPC for an offer that pays out at $1.10. That's almost like, I don't know what the percentage is off the top of my head. I'm not that great at math, but it's a very high percentage of the people that get to this page will click on here and will fill it out. Okay, so remember, again, they've already opted in. There's a good chance they're going to opt in again immediately to related offers. Okay, so as I mentioned, my EPC was 65 cents, 70 cents on good days. That's great for a $1 payout. And again, my goal is simply to break even on the front end. And the reason being is this. That's the email follow-up sequence. Okay, people ask me, okay, I got to write emails, that sort of stuff. To be honest with you guys, secret between myself and the few hundred that are on the call here, the way that I got a lot of the emails was just by opting into relevant offers on CPA networks. And I would just take the same type of subject lines, because these are offers that run a lot of volume. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to screw with their formula too much. I'll take the kind of sequence of offers they did and that sort of thing, and I'll see, hey, where can I improve? You know, how can I kind of rip this for my own purposes and improve on it? And so that's what I did. And the thing with the email sequence is this. This is so important. A lot of people don't get it. People think, I don't have enough government grant offers to have like 30 emails about government grants. It's going to get tired. People do that so often in their email follow-up, and it screws things up a lot. Ask yourself this. What is somebody who fills out one of those forms or fills out a BizOp form or something like that? What is it that they want? Obviously, they want more money. Okay, so that opens you up. If you think in those terms of demographics and psychographics, that opens you up to a lot of different offers. Okay, so someone seeking grants might be interested in going back to school, for example, or improving their education, right? Or, again, making more money. Okay, the reason they want to do all that, the reason they want to get a better education, all that sort of stuff, is to make more money again, and that opens us up to other offers. Because you own the list, okay, you can give your subscribers several options. So if you see here, we started out with the grant stuff, get your free success guide, qualify for a grant, right here, prescriptions, this is other stuff, financial aid, okay, so this is more, this is an education offer. This one right here, a make money BizOp offer, legal offers, lawsuit offers that we're paying out at, $200 to $500 on the network, still are. Another grant offer. Credit reports, tax offers, again, credit reports, education, legal. So all that stuff, once you have that demographic, you're just owning a list of people that are interested in one thing, but there's obviously lateral stuff that you can go with. And that's a very, very key lesson if you want to maximize the amount of money that you make out of this list. Other monetization options, okay? This is for people that want to take it even more advanced, okay? Get even more advanced with it. Immediate trial or one-time offers, okay? So an immediate one-time offer trial would be somebody opts in, and then you send them to a quick bridge page that has like a, buy now button that is a, $1 $1 to $5 trial. So a rebill offer on the CPA networks. You can find a lot of them on Offer Vault, right? And your payout is going to be $25 to $40. Okay, so I call this a front end multiplier. You can even add one of those on the monetized thank you page if you want. Right? So that's called a front-end multiplier. And all that means is you have a chance of getting one conversion that's going to pay out for tons of your traffic spend, okay, if you're buying traffic. Another one, immediate $1 to $9 low-price continuities. This is for you people that want to build your own buyers list, because the buyers list is really the most profitable type of list to have. Not necessary, but if it's something you want to do, all this can be is like an exclusive email newsletter. Okay, everyone thinks that, a product's got to be all complicated. No, an exclusive email newsletter, it's a newsletter for $1 or $5 after that per month, and it's something you can set up with PayPal and Aweber. Again, this is more advanced. You don't have to do this, but it's just another option. Immediate pay-per-lead and survey offers, as I showed. Right, as I shown in the government grants example, that's probably the fastest one to set up. This whole thing, by the way, guys, just to give you an idea, once I had these landers created for me, which took about a day, this took me about another half day to set up, and then I started getting traffic to it. So this is something very, very quickly that you could start tonight. Highly recommended. When you have these landing pages right here, adding a pay-per-lead offer that we talked about on an exit pop-up. Because you own this page now, right? You can't do this if you're direct linking. Because you own this page now, when someone tries to leave, I'd recommend exit popping them and sending them to an offer that is relevant, but a CPA offer that you'll get an immediate payout on. And often you'll get like a 10-15% conversion of the people that exit pop, and then you're able to make a lot of your front-end ad spend back very, very quickly. So if you can create your own low-price one-time offer, again, with or without continuity, you don't have to. You can then begin to create that buyer's list of people qualified for low-priced offers. Okay, and obviously there's a lot of low-priced offers on the CPA networks that that pay upwards of $45 off a trial. So again, it puts you in a better position. Again, not necessary. You don't have to do it, but I do recommend it. Once you get more advanced with the pseudo merchant model. So although the pseudo merchant strategy is extremely powerful, it's very flexible, it does assume you know how to drive traffic, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume that everyone on this call is a little familiar with paid traffic tactics, things like PPC, cost per view, Facebook ads, media buying, that sort of stuff. Okay, so now you may be saying, if you're someone who started out, you may be saying you've tried buying traffic before, it just didn't work out. You lost money, you gave up on it, that sort of stuff, or you tend not to be able to break even. Well, the pseudo merchant thing will help you with that for sure. But bottom line, buying traffic is the fastest, most scalable, most measurable, and most predictable way to make a lot of money very, very quickly. Some guys do really well with SEO. I'm not hating on SEO, but after the penguin, panda, the whole zoology updates that Google had, at the end of the day, you have the most control buying your own traffic because there's so many places to buy a lot of traffic from. So if you failed at it before, it's most likely because you made one of the common mistakes I see and will see a lot of marketers making. And so avoiding these will save you tons of time and money. So let's get to those right now. Get ready to take notes. These are things that are going to help you save a lot of money. It costs us a lot of time and money to learn this stuff. So mistake number one is not having specific and linear conversion goals. Okay? And don't worry if this is too advanced for you. I'll break it down, make it sound really simple. This is far more common than you think, okay? Most affiliates, especially affiliates, simply care about the conversion, okay? All they care about is, I need to get a conversion. That's it. And then they don't get a conversion. They send some traffic, and they're like, this stuff doesn't work, and they go back to writing articles or doing whatever. So we need conversion goals right from the ad that we're showing people going forward. So basically, your ad spend needs a purpose, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to think about improving your click-through rate first. Okay? Click-through rate, if you don't know, it's basically the percent of people that click on your ad that actually saw your ad. So if 100 people saw your ad and one person clicks it, you have a 1% click-through rate. Okay? The next thing we want is our landing page click-through rate. Okay? Or the percent of people that see our lead capture page, right? Percent of people that see this page that actually opt in. Okay? That's a very important number we want. And so we want to always be pre-framing. We want to start improving the ad first, then the lander, then the opt-in, whatever it is. Don't just think of the conversions on the back end. Have some patience. Make each segment of it improve, sequentially going forward. So if you do your job correctly on the ads, then the landers, then everything, then the opt-in page, whatever it is, the conversions will come. Okay, that's your kind of your antenna. It's your homing beacon that tells you, hey, I'm getting closer. The ads are getting a high click-through rate, so they're responding to something there. So look at it that way. Too many people don't look at their data patiently and in an analytical way. They get too emotional. They just say, oh, I didn't make any money. That's it. I lost money, and then they give up. Okay, so remember, you're not losing money. You're buying data. Very, very important to keep that in mind. Mistake number 2 is not knowing your numbers. Okay, not knowing your numbers. You need to think more about EPC, so your earnings per click, the amount of money you make for every click that goes to the offer or to your pages, more so than the cost per click. So a lot of people right now might say, oh, I'd never pay $2 per click. Well, I have a product right now in the anti-aging market that we're running, and we're paying more than $2 per click on one of the sites that we're getting traffic from, and we're getting about a 50% ROI on it. So we're making about, for every $100 we spend, we're getting $150 back. Okay, we're making $50 profit on each one, still with that expensive product. So it does expensive click costs. So it doesn't matter what the cost per click is really. If my EPC is higher than my CPC, then I'm fine. I'm going to make money. I'm going to be happy with it. Okay. So if you're doing the pseudo merchant model, you need to know your EPC and your dollar per lead early on. Without making this too technical of a webinar, basically your dollar per lead is, let's say you sent a bunch of traffic and you made $1,000 or you made $100 for every 50 leads that you generated. Okay, well, your dollar per lead then is $2 per lead. Okay, and all that means is that you know that you can't spend more than $2 per opt-in per lead, okay, unless you don't care to break even. That's pretty much it. Now, speculate all you want, listen to all the gurus, listen to whoever else, but you'll only know your numbers by running traffic. Okay, so at the end of the day, more important than reading and watching videos and all that sort of stuff is putting your money down or putting your time in and running traffic. Okay, that's number 1. And mistake number 3, and I'm sure Will and anyone experienced in this game can appreciate this, not buying enough data. Possibly the biggest mistake of all. Okay, this is possibly the biggest mistake of all that I see beginners make. Now, Will has a different way of doing it than I do. He's got a pretty cool way, so I'll let him chime in here in a second. I'll explain the way I look at it, but both methods pretty much mean you're buying enough data. So for me personally, what I see guys do is they'll send like maybe 100 or 200 clicks, and then they'll end a campaign. Okay, they'll be like, this stuff doesn't work. I'm not making money. I lost money, and that's it. Ideally, I'll send a minimum of 300 clicks per element. Now, what I mean by that is that could be per ad creative, per landing page, per offer, per opt-in, whatever. I try to send 300. Now, the more things that you're testing at once, the more data and the more clicks you need. Okay, so if you're lower on budget, obviously 300 clicks is going to be a lot. So start by optimizing your front-facing ads first. Just get an ad that's relevant to your opt-in or to your offer, and get an ad that gets a really high click-through rate that's still relevant. That's really important. Will, did you want to talk about that at all in terms of buying enough data? Because I know you have a little different way of doing it.
Yeah, no, I do agree with testing the elements, but I go even further on the pay-per-click side, and I treat each individual keyword that you're bidding on as a test as well, and then I assign a maximum spend for each individual keyword, and then as soon as you hit that maximum spend per keyword, you have to decide whether you're going to keep it or drop it. So it does kind of tie in with your 300 clicks per element, because you could still send 300 clicks to a landing page, but they could come from like 15 or 20 different keywords. So I'm going even further back to the exact keywords that you're bidding on, and it all depends on really, for me, the payout of the offer. So say an offer like it's an email submit and it pays $1.50, and you say you want 100% ROI, which is pretty steep for an email submit, but some people do. So that means you're only willing to spend 75 cents per keyword in order to make $1.50. So your maximum spend per keyword in that case would be 75 cents, which means you have to get a ton of dirt cheap clicks or you're never going to do it. So that's my theory on that. But I do agree with you on making sure your landing pages and your ads get enough clicks to thoroughly test them.
For sure, yeah. And so, Will does it a slightly different way, but it's very similar still. It's all about buying enough data. So in terms of ads, guys, people ask me, and they ask Will, how many ads should I test? I personally like to do 3 to 5 ads if possible, okay? I try not to vary 2 major elements from ad to ad. In terms of landing pages, you can make it radically different, right? You want to see which style works. But with the ads, I don't like to change the copy or the image at the same time. So what I'll either do is I'll either keep all the images the same. This applies to Facebook ads, it applies to Google ads, applies to whatever else. If they're image ads, I like to keep either the image the same and split test the copy, the ad copy, make the ad copy different, the wording from one thing to the next, or I keep the wording the same, the headlines the same, and I test the images against each other. Because if you don't, there's a little reminder for me, if you don't do that, okay, if you just go ahead and you start testing a whole bunch of stuff at once, you might find a winner. Usually, you won't, but you might find a winner, but at the same time, you won't know why it was a winner. Okay, and that's really, really important. So this is going to let you see what's working, and then you can adjust course afterwards more efficiently. So now to help you guys with some campaigns you might be running right now. So let's say you're running something right now. I want you to be able to take some stuff and apply to it right now, see if you can apply. So I'm going to give you 3 big breakthroughs that cost myself a ton of money and time to learn, okay? So these are very, very important, and these are things that I actually learned, a couple of them on a webinar, just like this, a couple of years back when I was starting out, maybe like you are. It was actually an Offer Vault webinar, I think. So one of them was an Offer Vault webinar. So, you can learn a lot of stuff on these things. So make sure you're taking notes. Again, these are essential, especially for affiliates. So breakthrough number 1. Okay, breakthrough number 1, bid high, budget low. Okay, bid high, budget low. Now, what you need to understand is that most paid traffic systems are an auction to some extent. Okay, at the end of the day, we like to think that Google and Facebook and, all the CPV traffic networks and Plenty of Fish and all these guys, we like to think that they really love us, okay? At the end of the day, though, they're in the business to make money, okay? They want to make money. They want to, make money. That's why they're selling ads, right? So it's an auction to some extent. So what that means is, a while back on Facebook, for example, bidding low, starting low, then going high. That's what I used to recommend. That's what I used to do. But things started to change once Facebook realized, started to make it more like an auction. And now it's pretty much just like every other network out there. So I tend to bid high so that I'm getting good reach, so that I make sure I'm getting traffic. A lot of people, write to us and they're like, I'm not getting traffic. I'm, bidding whatever X amount of cents and I'm not getting traffic. And then I'm like, bid higher. Okay, often, I'd say 80% of the time, if they just bid higher, they'll start getting more impressions. Okay, now, so you bid high, you bid competitively to start getting traffic, but budget low for your wallet. So let's say you got a budget of $20 a day. Okay, well, you're like, okay, I want to bid 10 cents a click, but you're not getting traffic at 10 cents. Well, try 30 cents, try 50 cents. Bid a little bit higher. I'm not saying go out and bid $1 or $2 right away. Bid a little higher just so you start seeing what's getting traffic for you. And then go from there. But keep the budget at $20 so you don't blow your budget out and, hurt your wallet. So this is the way it's been for years. It's always going to be an auction. I don't see any reason for the traffic networks in the future to go, hey, you know what? I think we're just going to be real charitable to everyone out there, and we're going to start saving them some money. So, hey, guys, free impressions for everyone. I don't think it's going to work that way.
That would be nice.
That'd be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool if Google sent me that email. Breakthrough number 2, the 3 kings of traffic. So I guess this could be 3 more breakthroughs, but I put them all together as the 3 kings. King number 1. A lot of guys, a lot of marketers don't ask themselves, who am I marketing to? Okay, the demographics. Start thinking in terms of demographics. I'm going to give you a very quick example of this. If you had a weight loss offer and you were doing keyword bidding on MSN Ad Center, for example, okay, what type of keywords would you go after? Probably weight loss keywords, right? And I think most people would do that. Most people would bid on weight loss keywords. And obviously that can work, okay? But if you want to start getting really scalable traffic where you can spend a lot of money and make a lot of money, then you got to start thinking in terms of demographics. Look at the ideal person that is actually going to fill out this offer. And then think of the keywords of the sites that those people would be on. Not necessarily just weight loss. Think of, are they, without giving away too much stuff here, are they primarily Christian? Or are they primarily, that's a weird one, I know, but primarily Republican or more affluent? Are they golfers, right? Then you start getting different keywords. Will, do you have something to say?
Yeah, I was going to say that's a new niche, like God wants you to lose weight. That'd be a good angle.
That'd be a very good angle. It would probably convert high, especially if you targeted the right people.
I'm going to try that one.
You should, yeah. The next up, I prefer larger markets. We prefer larger markets, not necessarily obscure niches. There's different talk about this. Obviously, small niches can give you a lower competition, but health, wealth, and relationships, even if you stick to one segment in there, it can make you a millionaire. That's it, bottom line. So what I want you to do is splinter to avoid heavy competition. Here's an example. You're in the weight loss niche. My very first successful campaign in CPA marketing was in the get ripped niche. So guys looking to get ripped and build muscle. That was a couple of years back. That was my first successful one. Okay, that's still in the massive fitness and weight loss market. Okay, still in the massive health market. Okay, so you can still make a lot of money there. However, splintered down to guys that use the words get ripped, and that small little segment is still massive. That segment alone was generating 5K a day, and I wasn't the only guy obviously in there. I mean, Will and I have a mutual friend who was generating, I think, upwards more than 10K a day.
Mm-hmm.
He was hitting 10K a day at least, while I was running at 5K a day. So there's so much scale in that tiny little part. So I'm sure everyone on the call would appreciate another 5K a day. The pain is still primal, but it's more accessible when you splinter down. And all that means is it's still something people really want. They still really want to get ripped and get lean and that sort of thing. Okay? Do they necessarily want to collect coins so badly that they'll spend money right now? Maybe, but probably not as much as a health-related thing. Another big one, 1 to 2 markets at most. Will and I see this in the forum a lot, and we always have to, kick guys in the ass about it. Stick to 1 to 2 markets in the beginning, like 1 to 2 traffic sources, same type of thing. Just get focused at first. Will likes to diversify. I'm sure he's going to say something about that right now. Before you do, Will likes to diversify, but at the same time, are you diversifying? I'm going to say this, Will, and then you could say whatever you want. Are you diversifying because you encountered some challenge, and then you're like, oh, okay, this is too hard, and then you jump to another thing? Or did you diversify because you got something successful, and then you moved? You do that? That's awesome. I do that now. Will, you probably want to add to that.
No, I agree with that. And if you do find something and you want to diversify, then take it to another traffic source. And that's a lot of what I do. I'm always trying to be a small fish in a big pond. Just because I've been, the people that know my story know that I've been burned